Why men are smarter than women. There could be some genetic component to this that's probably been studied. I think beyond more just the genetic component, though, is simply out of necessity. The amount of problems and value you have to add to society, like fix problems in society, solve personal problems for yourself, come up with a solution in the marketplace, be an entrepreneur, make a successful business, work on your fashion, build up your body, etc., gaining muscle mass, gaining confidence, networking, learning about female psychology, how to deal and move around women. All that stuff requires a lot of thinking and a lot of problem solving, and it's just a whole other area of their life that women don't have to worry about. The financial game for any beautiful woman is not something they have to think about. Women just aren't, there's not a lot of pressure for modern day women in developed countries and third world countries. They just don't have to think very much. Men will just solve the problem. Listen, the pathway to have unlimited options in terms of dating with men is the following. Don't be a land whale. Go to the gym so you can have a sexy toned lower body, do a lot of squats, and don't be super irritating around him. Just like add some value. Try not to just like literally provide, sex for him and all the other times you're being nagging and insufferable. And then I would say, if I had to add like a fourth one, don't do stupid shit like get tattoos or piercings or cut your hair or, just don't do stupid shit like that. And you'll be good. And I want to illustrate this point about, because I've talked about this in other videos, right? Like for a guy, I've learned how to like import stuff from China, have had custom molds to make custom products. They were kitchen utensils in China, dealing with the imports, learning how to run and manage Facebook ads. For this, it's like, video editing, lighting. I'm syncing my phone. And I'm going to do a screen share in a second. Like, how do you even like sync a screen share and, edit it, put it, like just so many little things. And like, I guess a woman has to learn, how to like do makeup and stuff like that. But the amount of problem solving, and it's crazy. I've talked about this in other videos, the amount of groupthink that we as a society have, at least in the West, have convinced women that they have it harder in their lives. It's the biggest, what's the word? I don't want to say scam or psyop of all time, convincing women that their lives are harder than men's. When the man's got to be tall, rich, charismatic, interesting, understand female psychology, have a good network. I don't know. I'm probably repeating myself. Make a lot of money, be handsome, and a woman could just be, listen, face is somewhat genetic on the woman, but there's different types. If you can just not be fat, get your sexy toned lower body by just, hitting squats and hamstrings and those little thrust exercises where they they put the bar on their hips and they thrust up, and don't be super annoying, have a soft feminine appearance. Listen, maybe not every girl can get NBA player, but you're going to get a rich hunky guy to take care of you, because face is pretty subjective. I know a lot of guys who, if the woman is just fit, like that's all they care about. They're like, what's a face? I'm a big face guy, but some guys don't care about face. Now, to illustrate this point, we'll put boom with the magic of editing right now, this girl's Tinder profile. I want to show the differences between this girl's profile on Tinder and the amount of work that she put into it versus my buddy Steven, okay? So this girl, the first photo is a bathroom selfie. She set her purse down. She's wearing very normal clothing. It's not even super flattering clothing, to be perfectly honest. She set her purse down, and you can see the little hand dryer, and it's clearly in a bathroom, okay? Then we go to the next photo. It is another selfie, just standing in front of a door. Presumably, I guess there's a mirror there. Look, maybe it's like a fitting room or something. She looks kind of cute, but completely hiding her face, wearing like unflattering clothing. She's not wearing a sexy evening gown that would like push her tits up, and really good makeup and good lighting, and she's just wearing like, what are these blue socks? Like, what are those type shit? You know what I mean? Next photo is yet another bathroom selfie, complete with the roll of toilet paper. What happened is this girl took a fat shit. She felt thin afterwards because she just expelled a pound of feces from her body. And then she took a mirror selfie, complete with a roll of, so that's out of 3 photos now. 2 of them are taken in the bathroom and they're all selfies. We have another super unflattering selfie that, again, I don't know what that is. And then, this could be another bathroom, like the tiling back there. So she could have 3 of the 5, or certainly 2 of the 5. And again, it's blurry, it's out of focus, it's grainy. And again, she's, fairly cute. So this is the type of girl that, and this photo here, quick side tangent. We're in a group chat. I matched with this girl. I was kind of like making fun of her profile. I don't even know how I accidentally swiped her. Or maybe I thought she looked, decent in one of these photos. we're in a group chat, and I was just kind of like, the same rant that I'm, talking about with you guys here on camera. I was kind of giving this rant to my friends in the group chat. And in certain cities, all the same girls will bang all the same gringos, all the same foreigners. I won't say the city or country for many reasons. But I was like, my buddy's like, yeah, like, I was talking to her after we had sex, and she's like, if you have friends you can introduce me to who are like, good at sex. So this girl must be like a crazy hoe too, because I don't know what type of girl talks like that. But he said like, yeah, crazy coincidence, like, because as I was talking shit, like making fun of her profile, my buddy's like, she's on her way right now. Like, I'm going to bang. She's like getting in an Uber to come bang me right now. Of course, the same girl matched with, every gringo in the city. Every foreigner. This guy is actually not even a gringo. He's technically, I think, Canadian, but he's of Indian descent. So I sent him this selfie. I'm like, yo, send this to the girl, and I'll definitely be her type, right? All right, let's contrast that now with my buddy Steven's profile. It'll take me a second to just pull up. Let me get Steven's profile right now. Okay, now we're looking at Steven's profile. By the way, there'll be some contact information in the description of this video if you want me to put together an ultra high status social media presence that generates attraction with girls the moment they see it, and then give you the strategy to then put that profile in front of as many beautiful women in your area as possible using Instagram. And for the love of Pete, uninstalling your dating apps for good. If you want my help with that, I can do exactly what I did for Steven for you. There'll be some contact information in the description of this video where you can send me a message. Okay, so we talked about toilet paper girl, right? And the absolute zero effort. It was 5 photos, 5 selfies, and at least 2 or 3 of the 5 were in a bathroom complete with toilet paper. Now let's look at Steven's profile. Okay. When a girl sees a photo like this, what does she think? Social, fun, confident. Look at the environment he's in. Look at the people he's with. Look at the lighting. Look at the food. Look at the editing. Look at everything. For Steven to put together a profile like this, right? He had to watch Fresh and Fit, follow along, take time out of his day to watch Fresh and Fit, and take notes on the advice, the game they were dropping. And even back then, they still do a lot of like helping men content, but back then they didn't do any political stuff. It was all just strictly about helping men. They still do some of that to this day, but this one was even more tightly focused on helping men. Saw my shit on there, said, hey, this guy's talking about digital dating. He's talking about meeting women directly on Instagram. He's talking about going overseas. He told me he researched a lot of competitors, my other photographers. Other photographers cannot do this. So Steven had to really, think about, okay, like an average photographer will just take whatever shitty clothing you already have and take pictures of you in the goddamn fucking park, and like they'll be crispy, they'll be taken on a nice lens with a shallow depth of field. That means like you're in focus and the background is blurry, like, I don't know, say this photo right here, this is a portrait photo, right? The background's blurry. They can do that, right? But they're not going to put you in the right environments. They're not going to put you in the right settings with beautiful women. They're not going to give you the fashion consulting, and they're not going to know the strategy of what you even do with this pro. They'll be like, make a Hinge now, because that'll work. But Steven had to fly. I was living in Medellin, Colombia. Thank God I don't live in that retarded city anymore, but I was living in Medellin, Colombia at the time. He had to research a whole bunch of people, watch Fresh and Fit to even know who I was in the first place, evaluate the options. I'm not going to say how much he paid, but it was more than a few $1,000s. Pay more than a few $1,000s to fly down there. Also invest in fashion and get these photos taken by the top guy in his industry. And it's like, where would he even, I mean, just look at this profile, right? Look at the amount of work that was put into cultivating a profile like this, and how much benefit this is going to do him versus toilet paper girl. Okay, so we can stop screen sharing now. And it's the same thing in like, for example, with the gym, right? Like, muscles do not want to grow. Muscles burn calories. Just like resting there, when you're just like sitting down, your muscles are burning calories. They're using oxygen. Big muscles can be an asset. They can also be a huge liability. And you don't need very big, strong muscles to take the spear and jab the spear into the neck of the gazelle, right? Like, a guy who's, I don't know, 5'10", 155 pounds, lean, is just as equipped to jam a spear into a gazelle as a guy who's 200 pounds with a 6-pack. Like, it's not, the spear just goes in. Like, you just push the spear in. Muscles on the African savanna in ancient times, or pre-ancient times, whatever, are oftentimes more of a liability than they are an asset. So what do you do to get muscles grow? You put them under intense stress, and it's out of necessity, right? That's my whole point here. Women are not nearly as smart as men, because men, if you're even like again, if you follow the 3 rules, don't overeat so you're not a land whale, work out, don't be super annoying, men will just take care of you and sponsor your life. It is what it is, whether it's just men you meet out and about. Doesn't have to mean it's like a sugar daddy thing. Look, a rich, cool guy who's got his shit together could just meet you at the fucking inside of Zara. Like, I don't know, you can just cold approach you anywhere. Certainly on the apps, he's got to take care of you. And again, it's funny, like I talked about, the biggest psyop of all time is that women were taught that, men are the oppressors and women have, the tougher lives. So it just makes sense. Like, anything that's put under stress and pressure and forced to grow and forced to improve, like a content creator, right? Do you think like I just woke up one day and I could turn on my camera and just rant and get like I can look at this point, not every video takes off, right? But I can certainly just, have an idea like, oh, people think that it's one way, but I think it's this way. I'm going to rant. I'm going to turn on my camera and just talk for 15 minutes, hit upload and get 100K views a video. Now that's results are not typical. Most videos get, I'm lucky if a video gets like 10% of that. But point being, I can get 10K, 20K videos, but it's a skill I had to cultivate, right? Because I had to make money. I had to put my personality out there. Something that I've invented, I won't show any example of this, but I discovered that when I would add a random girl on Instagram, if I had funny, charming video content of me doing something funny, acting out a funny skit, conveying my personality a charming way in a video content as a reel pinned at the top of my profile, that would triple, like 3x, yes, like 300%. Triple the probability that a random girl who didn't know me, who got a follow request from me, would follow me back. And the key is now I can land in her inbox without going to the hidden request folder of doom. How did I invent that? If I was some gorgeous 6'5" Chad, rich, I had Lamborghinis and shirtless photos of my perfect body, I wouldn't have needed to invent the funny, charming video technique. I am a mid guy, a very average guy who dates very above average women, and we can put some of the girls that I've dated, some B-roll, whatever, some of the hot girls that I've, banged over the years. I had to do this out of necessity. If a monkey has bananas at the bottom of the tree and it could eat the bananas at the bottom of the tree that have fallen down, or it could climb up and take a lot of risk. As for a monkey, it's not a huge risk to climb a tree, but you get my point. He's not going to expend unneeded energy and get the bananas at the top when there's bananas at the bottom. For a man, the bananas are like, you have to climb the tree, then swing through a ring of burning fire to grab onto a zip line, and slide down and get on the other tree, and then like at the end of like 36 hours of no sleep jumping from branches, you maybe get like a banana, versus like a woman can just lay on bed and like the bananas are brought to her. That's literally how a fair comparison in the ease of life between men and women. And because men have to adapt, and listen, there's a lot of idiot guys out there. Like the guys who don't step up, the guys who aren't ambitious, they don't get into entrepreneurship, they don't get into pickup, they don't learn how to fix their physique and stuff. I've seen some dumb motherfuckers out there, bro. Some really, really dumb motherfuckers. So it's mostly the guys who like choose to be ambitious and choose excellence. Those are the guys that end up getting really smart, because it's like, listen, even for staving off Alzheimer's and dementia, learning a language, putting stress on your brain, the stress of learning Japanese when you're in your 70s and just doing your Japanese classes can, it's like lifting the weights for your brain. You're forcing the brain to flex and work its muscles. And they have done studies on this. You will delay or eliminate, significantly reduce, let's say, your Alzheimer's by, Sudoku puzzles, like little math puzzles, learning a foreign language, I just said. And that is why men are smarter than women in the United States and all over the world, any developed country, anywhere, men are smarter than women, because we have to be. Our lives are so much harder. They require so much more problem solving just to get the basic things like sex and love and romance and attention from the opposite sex that women are given as a birthright for being born a woman. If you like this video, subscribe for more hot takes. And if you want me to build an Instagram like the one you saw earlier of my client Steven, there will be some way to contact me. My Instagram is like, one day it's banned, one day it's not, matrix attacks, but there'll be some way you can contact me and get a free audit. I'll actually get on a call with you and give you a free audit. Here's a photographer in your city, archive this photo, change this, change that. Here's some blazers you can get at Zara, cheap, whatever it is, and I will make sure you can have one like Steven. The audit is free, but it's not for everybody. We'll talk more about that. But otherwise, just like the video and subscribe because it helps boost me in the algorithm. I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.